and you just scan it, and it's in for free, and there you go. So that's my take of digital and paper ticketing. Over now to the Hamilton Bulldogs. Finally, I will get the chance to talk about the season in review. The Hamilton Bulldogs concluded the season a few weeks ago in Kingston, albeit it was a slugfest, more so not in favor of Hamilton as they shot badly 61-22, I believe. Ken Fulcher held on his own. They lost 5-2, I believe. It was 5-2, 5-3, I can't remember. But that's just a reminder of how much of a roller coaster season that there was in Hamilton. The cream of the creme of the season was pretty much in December. 9-21 record, an unacceptable record for the kind of talent, albeit it was young. It was a young talent. Excuse me for a second. Just trying to get my microphone in check unless it was already done with. There you go. My apologies. I'm going to talk about now without my microphone. But I am just going to say it has been a tough season for the Hamilton Bulldogs. Like I said, 9-21 in December. They were well out of the playoff race. And then come out to the trade deadline, at that pivotal moment, the departures of Graham, Munchman, Harper, to name a few. Hamilton basically played pretty good, meaningful hockey. And at the end of the season, by season's end, Hamilton, out of the two teams that were in the playoff race, the 8 final players from the Eastern Conference, so Hamilton and Oshawa. Hamilton had the most benefit of the two because when you are in the cusp of your OHL career, especially early on, it is very important to get the pressure, not to say the pressure, but more like an experience, the pivotal experience for the OHL playoff run. Or even when you're a youngster in the NHL, when you're in a team that is in the playoff race, a particular playoff race, even the last two or three playoff spots, you get the experience, you get the beneficial experience of playing in the stretch drive. That's what Hamilton Bulldogs were a part of. It was a pretty tight race down the wire. The last 2 weeks of February really killed all opportunities to get a fertile ground up on Oshawa, and ultimately, it bit us ultimately at the end. Hamilton got pounded by Ottawa and thus eliminated himself in the playoffs, but it came down in the final weekend of the season. Oshawa, like I said, ultimately ousted Hamilton on the Friday. I believe it was on the Friday. And Hamilton gained the more beneficial experience because much of the core of the team is going to be on for 2 more seasons at the very most. We are not losing a ton of overagers, 19, 20-year-olds to overagers, and it's probably not going to be much again next season. And I think Hamilton Bulldogs are in a great situation to get in the postseason next year. But they are not going to do it with George Burnett, as within about 72 hours before the draft, George Burnett, the head coach and general manager of the Hamilton Bulldogs, who was part of the transition from relocation from Belleville to Hamilton last season, or I should say this most recent regular season, I should say. George Burnett was axed from his job as both general manager and head coach. Steve Stadios took over with the club as the general manager in addition to his role as the president. He has stated that he is going to be looking, he and Troy Smith are going to be looking at all options for a head coach, all avenues for a head coach. My preference would be Dave Cameron, who was recently let go earlier today by Ottawa. He has had a plenty good track record in his own way, and he's relatively young, in the mid-40s. He is rumored to be going back to Mississauga to coach the Steelheads, and that would be a really good fit for a very young team, for potentially a really good powerhouse club in Mississauga next season. And Dave Cameron would be a good fit, but I think he should come to Hamilton, or even Ted Nolan, for crying out loud. He has had great success in his major junior coaching career. Claude Julien, to think out of the box, highly unlikely he will be in the major junior coaching rank. Jacques Martin, Mark Crawford, my personal favorite. I think he could really have a stock over and coach the youngsters for at least 2 more years to get back into the NHL coaching ranks, which, by the way, Mark Crawford is highly considered to coach for the Ottawa Senators. He is on the hot list, as he has stated that he is coming back to North America to hopefully coach for the National Hockey League, and Ottawa seemed like a good fit for Mark Crawford. Or you can stick it here with the organization, put Troy Smith, who has had coaching experience before, 2 years as a head coach, the last 2 years in Kitchener as a head coach before this past regular season. In overall 8 years, a decade with Kitchener. Left the blueprint, a solid foundation for Kitchener that is paying dividends right now. They're in the conference semifinals this playoffs. So all I can say, that is it's going to be a really interesting head coaching situation down the road. I will talk more about head coaching before the end of the show. Quickly, I want to say about the draft. Last year, the Bulldogs got big, but this past draft this past weekend, we got even bigger. We signed a marquee forward and, not to say signed, but drafted at 3rd overall, Connor Roberts from the Grey Blues Highlanders. He is from Owen Sound. He is highly regarded as one of the top prospects in the Ontario Hockey League, let alone one of the more coveted prospects for this draft. This past draft was top 10, top 15 for quite a while, up until the last rankings went out. He was a top 25 player overall, and from what I've heard from this guy already in his press conferences, he has said that he wants to be in Hamilton. He likes the atmosphere, and he can't wait to come and play for Hamilton. That, to me, like I said, Connor Roberts has great character, and that's what Hamilton wants. He has the size. He has a pro-ready shooting ability. He needs to get more physical and more bulked up than he already is. He's 6'4", 205 pounds, but he's going to probably get a lot taller and a lot leaner. And this dude is going to be something special. And with him and Strom and Edwissel, Petty, Love, Fox, Cramarosa, depending if he is going to Ryerson or not. Hamilton looks pretty stacked. And then you got DJ King, who is the son of Dave King, I think that's the name, or Billy King, Dave King. He was a former Derek King. He was the son of Derek King, who used to play for the Maple Leafs. He is from Hamilton, the Hamilton area. And him and can't remember. God, my apologies, folks. Just have Kanuka, Jacob Papunka. That thing's his name. Him and King are committed to the United States National Development Program. They ultimately will probably going to be reconsidered playing for them and come to here to Hamilton. From what I've heard is that King is a stay-home defenseman. Is that what Hamilton needs? A stay-home defenseman. Imagine him with Brody Morris. That's going to be a really a very important part of Colombo, as well as Jacob Pavanka. He's a skill forward, one of the high prospects as well. And in a classy note, Hamilton got Jake Murray, who is battling nasal cancer. Very nice touch by Hamilton. And it looks like Murray could be coming to Hamilton as well. And don't forget, we have Riley McCourt as well, who is a pretty good defenseman in his own way. I should say defenseman or forward. He is going to commit to Hamilton along with Connor Roberts. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it by end of this week or even by training camp. So congrats to all the 15 draftees. You can go online on HamiltonBulldogs.com for the full wrap-up on who's who. We'll even go on the Spec and the Hamilton Spectator website at thespec.com and go in the Bulldogs section through the sports page. And finally tonight, I'm going to mention quickly the orientation camp practice will take place on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Orientation camp at Shadow Trampan Arena, 6 to 7 p.m. for the 6 to 8, I should say, around 6 to 8 for practice on a Friday. It is a welcoming orientation for rookies, first timers to the OHL for the Hamilton Bulldogs. 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock practices respectively for Friday. Scrimmages 9 o'clock a.m. and 3 p.m. on Saturday, and one more scrimmage on Sunday at 3 p.m. That's all that will be taking place, and it's open to the public. I believe it's free at the Shadow Trampan Arena, which is at Shamack Drive, just off Mohawk and Rice Avenue, just where the Shadow Hospital is. That's all the time for the Michael Willoughby Show, episode 26. I'm Michael Willoughby, and I'll talk to you next time. So long for now.